What's up, guys? I'm Kurt. This is Johnny. This is Keller, and this is Billy. Today on the Glassmith Podcast, we're going to be talking about the holidays coming up and how we're dealing with our lack of or overstaffedness, and I don't remember what else. Billy, you're up.
Welcome, friends.
Alright, so first of all, what I'm thinking about, let's discuss first my major thinking over the last couple of days, which is a complete rethinking of the back wall at our West Campus location. I'm a shelves guy. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 shelves. But right now, 2 of the shelves are below eye level, so we can't even really see them. So I'm kind of curious as to get y'all's take on how we should revamp that space.
For the 2 shelves at the bottom that no one can see, I feel like we should use it for like things that you can grab easily to give to customers as opposed to just like restock items. So it would be like if we have a case full of things, instead of having the case full, you grab from the case and you slowly empty it, you just grab it from the shelf. And then it's like an easy like lack of restock.
What about like rearranging the shelves though? Like why are those shelves even got to be out of sight?
So you raise because people aren't tall enough?
Well, you just keep raising up the shelves. It's like you like make like the top shelf right now like up a little bit higher, and you make the next shelf like closer to the top shelf because then you can fill it with
the bottom shelf is just really, really short.
Or whatever it is we do.
But you still have 2 bottom shelves that are unseeable.
Maybe you only have like one shelved on it, or maybe
and then
you
it's a
shrink
big
the
section.
very bottom one, and then have one like right above it.
We have so many more Rillos. Like think about how many Rillos we could carry.
Yeah. Rillos aren't that cool though.
Rillos backwoods.
What do you think we should stop more? If Rillos aren't that cool, like what is cool?
I don't have a good answer for that. But like the problem with Rillos is that it's like a small group of people that really buy Rillos.
Whoa.
It's
a small group of people for us because we don't carry a lot of Rillos.
Oh, I guess, yeah. So there's a lot of Rillo brands that I know nothing about. Like, I imagine I only know the Rillo brands we've carried.
We're just missing out, like, really on the Swisher.
What about the $5 for $1? Like all the $5 for $1 packs that we don't fuck with.
What? See, I didn't even know.
There's like Fiesta packs, the 4Ks. The 4Ks, like people like the 4Ks, but they're like gross.
Well, then maybe we should do a Gamma trip. We should all go to Gamma so we're all aware of the vast number of Rillos we don't carry.
Costco wholesale supply.
Costco wholesale supply.
The business center.
That'd be cool. I didn't know that was a thing.
It's in Dallas.
It's in Dallas. What are you doing tomorrow morning, 7 a.m.?
Driving to Dallas, it sounds like.
Really?
Yeah, with you.
You coming?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll go, Billy. Chris said I'll go.
That sounds so gross. You have all the stuff?
It's really easy.
Well, like you have like all the business information.
Yeah.
All that shit's stored away, so like when you get there, you can fucking sign in and everything.
Oh, well, yeah, it's just all your information.
Okay.
We're just gonna call you and be like, Billy, they're not letting us in. Will you tell them that we work with the Glassmith?
Just be like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Nobody's ever asked me any questions, actually. Like, they only ask me for the ID number, I give it to them, and that's it. Because, like, I can't, like, lie.
So this shelf.
Tax ID number.
Bottom 2, like, we've got, like, 2 feet that you can't see. That stuff's just not going to be able to see. Like, anything under those 2 feet. Unless you make the outside higher, and then Johnny raises this other step stool that we have in the shop even higher. Like, those are just going to be unseen. Like, that's, in my head, backstock or, like, quick shelf for things to grab to restock.
I've never thought of that as, like, a possibility. Almost a second version of what we've got underneath the counter. Like, what would you put on that shelf, considering, like, what we keep on the other one?
I think it would be like even more Hidden Hills kind of thing. Like you could use it to restock the shelf, or if you don't really want to restock, you can just grab it straight from the boxes.
Yeah, like that's my favorite thing. Any of the open boxes, there should be like a spot that'd be kind of cool, like a raised up spot above where they're kept at. It's like you have the full boxes down here, and then anytime a box is open and there's one missing, it goes up here. I really like it in like the bodega. Like I use the first spearmint box that's down there before touching the spearmint up there.
Because then you don't have to restock.
You don't have to restock.
Oh, most
And
of
it's
the
just
most
as easy.
popular items
If you keep
are
'em efficient.
already, like the back stock is also a sellable space.
Yeah.
Huh. How many shelves do you think we can get above eyesight?
I think it depends on, like, if we're doing Rillos, probably a lot, because you could do relatively thin wood and stack them like really tight. Like you could do
they're not
like
too
just
heavy.
to where you fit them.
Instead of the 1x1s, we could do like half inch
Yeah, I don't know.
by 1.
So then we, like I was saying, I'm very row centric. Would you keep it long rows or like chop it? Like, you know what I mean? Like have like half of it being
That'd be
half
cool.
of it being bookshelf case style, or then the other half being longer.
I like the long rows. I think that's just kind of one
I
how
like the
it's
idea of
always
having, like,
looked.
Rillo,
So are you thinking like
but it's only,
Rillos
like,
long ways side to side,
small
or
section.
kind of keeping
And the
it
whole right
sectioned
side
like
next to the
this,
fridge,
and
like
then
they
You
do
maybe-
all
guys,
the-
one conversation at a time, no doubt.
Oh.
Sorry, Keller, go ahead.
What is your vision for that? Like as far as with these new shelves, leave it how it looks now, or just have one big long?
I don't know, like I'm saying, I've always like been a one shelf, so I'm not real sure about the versatility. But like to have the multifaceted, right? So like essentially, like instead of having Rillos across the entire row, what about like a vertical row coming down? You guys seem to have an opinion. Johnny, what were you thinking?
We love it
We love
collectively as a group.
I don't know. I like Curtis idea just now. Like, it's like book, like so, like
Well,
the
so
Rillos
Kurt,
over by
what
the
was
fridge.
that? If you had an
It would
idea,
basically be like 3 feet wide of a section, and it would just be like 6 rows of. I think is what you were saying. Is it's like a bookshelf. That way you have like Dutchess, Swisher, White Owl, Backwood, or however we organize it. It could be purple flavors, red flavors, pink flavors. Like,
Would
Kind
you
of like
do
how we do
that?
now, because there's different heights of all these different things. Like if you want to get the 4Ks are kind of
like,
short.
and you would build the whole shelf. Like Swishers are shorter than Garcia Vegas, which are shorter than White Owls, and so you would just build the shelf to
You
that
get like all
brand.
the minis, or the what?
And then you could have like
Bag of
30
miles?
shelves. Like you could have so many, not 30, but
so
so
if
many.
you were gonna say, you would say
Not shelves, but rows.
roll the like you would do your 10 here for the Rillos, and then you would decide the Puffcos are next to it, and you'd build the Puffco section. That's what you're thinking.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
No, I don't know. I was like,
Like I think that you would.
What are you thinking, Johnny?
well, you would build each like those. Like, I guess like not like section. Like you wouldn't like build like another little row. Like then like all the rest would be the long shelves, and then we decide like the heights we want.
So yeah, I was thinking like you would build the section for Rillos, and you would specify each one to each box, and then you would move over and you'd be like, okay, like this is where our next one, and Johnny would then build, or whoever it is, but this guy builds dope shelves. Then you would go
What
to
about
the next
your
section. You'd be like,
shelves?
okay.
Yeah, like you could have just stopped at shelves.
Okay, go ahead though.
Whatever.
When you go to the next one, you'd be like, okay, this one's gonna be like restock, and then Puffco, and then herb vaporizers, and then bongs. And you would build each one specific to like, okay, these are what we think we're gonna
Size
put here.
specification.
Yeah, and then you'd move to the next section, and you would section it off depending on how much space you thought each thing was gonna take. It would just suck if we ever decided to change it, because then you gotta take off all of them.
So
Well,
that's
it's not
what
that
I
tricky.
liked, was the versatility of the length. You know what I mean? I see what they're saying. So like, all right, so more or less. You know what I mean? Like, so when you go into the shoe store, they have like a shoe here and a shoe here and a shoe here. It's got a little like nice little description, same as a museum. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I've always kind of had this dream that we could be a nice enough shop to be able to have that like niceness to it rather than just cramming shit in. Do you think that that's like, which way do you think we should go? Like with this redecoration, should it just be as many Rillos as we can get, or should we pick like the 6 best of every brand and like keep it neat and clean?
I don't know. That one's hard because I think we do a really good job of utilizing as much space as we have, because we don't have very much, and I feel like that's kind of a thing that we're known for. You know, you come to the Glassmith and we've got every flavor of every kind of everything.
Yeah.
Except Rillos right now.
Except when, but that's like not on purpose. You
Yeah,
know?
space wise.
Um.
Or perceived space wise.
So I don't know. Maybe like for for certain sections, not all of them per se, maybe be picky choosy about what we want to be, like really picky choosy. You know, maybe like the next time you make a nice piece of glass or something like that, but maybe not cut down on something that, you know, we move a lot of, or that, you know, is number 1 through 5 best selling item.
So that leads me into this horse that I've been just fucking beating on, which is we have a whole row, and half of this row, so say we have 12 feet of space, half of this space is being spent on cigarillos and half of this space is being spent on Puffcos. Neither of these things bring us money, right? But cigarillos we roll over constantly. Kurt, so like how are you feeling like on how, like, in, say, just like close your eyes and say this is the only space we have available and these are the products that we're pushing. Do you go lean heavy to the product that sits there? Do you lean heavy to the product that you push a lot but doesn't make any money?
I would definitely lean towards a thing that moves there. Like, okay, so things that move there, specifically with like Rillos, I think that's a thing people ask about. Like, people who are looking for Rillos usually are coming for Rillos, and we could just go back to like that could be the thing you grab from, like down below. Like, we used to have Rillos take up that whole bottom shelf, left to right, and we could just switch back to that. But then we could carry way more Rillos. But I think that Rillos are, the nice thing about them is that people constantly come for them. Whereas Puffco kind of sucks. Like, I love a Puffco, but Puffco's doesn't bring anyone. No, like, the only person that comes to the Puffco is the person planning to buy it.
But and
they don't plan to buy anything else. They're only coming just, like, but they come once a month, once every 2 months.
They sell like one Puffco a month, and that's like kind of slows down sometimes.
So, but Johnny, don't you think that the Puffco is aspirational?
Yeah,
like, it's like that's why people why people go to like the quote unquote head shop, is because you're like, it's an aspirational culture shop.
Well, what I've been thinking about is like whenever you go to whatever the place that's got all the games, Dave and Buster's, like, don't they have like the wall with like all the different prizes? Like, you have like 2,000 tokens, you can get this. You have like 2 million tokens, you can get the Puffco, or whatever Dave and Buster's has. It's like the Puffco. Or the
Where are you going? Wait, was there more?
That's it. Like you gotta have like the top prize.
Well, so like, what if you went, like, right now we have all of our accessories on there too. What if you just had the Puffco, you had the Proxy, you had the Peak Pro, whatever the arrangement of them is, and then all of the little stuff is just off to the side. Like, I feel like that's what, when I go into smoke
so
shops,
essentially underneath a little bit like the cigarillos. So like,
yeah,
would you
that
almost
might be where you put them.
What do you think, Keller?
I agree. I feel like if anything moves slower than the devices themselves, it's the little accessories.
So do you think that we should run the same game with the cigarillos? Like, essentially, like, all right, so you have this one shelf that so right now our dynamic is we have one shelf of display and 2 shelves of backstock, right? So, but the first backstock shelf is accessible. Like, you could turn around and be like, well, what kind of white owl would you like? Like, we could have a poster outside that has all of our flavors on it. It could just be ready to go. We have this kind of Swisher, this kind of Dutch, this kind of what's it called, and then we have all that shit underneath. But so then we would have like a select amount that people could see. The same with a Puffco. So like, in a way, we're stocking so much more than we're showing, but we're only showing the 5 most popular Swishers, the 5 most popular Dutches, the 5 most popular games, the 5 most popular White Owls. But in reality, we have every single one, because we have enough backstock, like enough easy backstock stuff. Cool. Essentially the same as the Puffco and the Proxy and all that shit. Somebody comes up and they're like, well, do you have blah, blah, blah? You know what I mean? You guys think that's better than showing all that shit?
Yeah, I think that's like that's the best idea. Like, you would put like the backwoods up there. You put like the vanilla, the OG pack, whatever it is, the bananas. You take up like the small amount of space, and then whenever we have our guys come up, that's like, oh man, you got the grape, you got the fucking all of this one. We have them. We build we make the custom posters for them. We have a pretty dope poster. And
even instead of doing the posters, like, I feel like whenever we had stuff down below, like, or even like Backwoods used to be on the restock shelf, right? I feel like when people came up and they saw like, oh, you have the originals. Do you have banana? Do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? And we could walk over and just go grab them. Like, you don't need every single, like, you just need the brand represented. I think people will ask about it if they see the brand.
So then, So then I'll go back, right? And I hate to like beat up on it. Is then the idea better to go more shoe store? Like, all right.
Can you re-explain the shoe store?
So you have like we have this huge ass space. Some of it's way up high, some of it's down low. We could fucking stack like, all right. So you got one shelf here, and then another shelf here,
take out all the shelves
and another shelf here,
shelf
and each of them is built to hold 5. Like the top one is built for 5 backwoods.
That's
you know
my
what I mean?
least favorite thing about dispensaries. Like personally,
Is
like,
that how?
that's what I go in there and that kills me. It makes me like, what? Like this isn't somewhere where I'm supposed to be buying weed from.
Yeah, it's just like a fucking room. Like
Yeah,
there's
it's just a
nothing
room
cool
where
about
Kelly,
it.
People put some shit on display.
Keller, you think too curated?
It is a little off-putting to walk in and it's like kind of empty. You know what
Like
I'm
we're
saying?
supposed to
Like
have.
that's the. I think that is kind of the vibe we want to give off. Is not. It's not like cluttered necessarily. You know what I'm saying?
But full.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay.
Because we gotta have everything.
I think that's my big problem with the Puffco shelf is that it's just cluttered. Like it's so cluttery. It feels like everything. I feel like all the shops we shoved as much stuff into a section as we could, and you can't differentiate any of it unless you're the person behind the counter. Like you have to be there looking at it, and be like, oh, that's like this is an atomizer. This is this is that. I don't know. Like even the Puffco versus the Peak Pro.
I've always kind of been of the opinion that it's like dead stock. Like once it's not in sight, it's kind of dead. But now I'm starting to like really like the idea of a menu. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Johnny.
Like labeled better, and it's not dead stock. Like so, if it's like behind, like if it's behind the counter, like even for just the worker, and then someone comes up, they're like, oh, you got the Puffco, the Peak Pro atomizer, and they're like, they just look down, they look in the Puffco section, and they see Peak Pro atomizer.
But then you gotta fucking like build a whole section for Peak Pro atomizer. You know what I mean? Like, how do you build, like, if we don't ever sell Peak Pro atomizers, like, how do you make a little slot?
Like, you know, like our little white tray from IKEA? We'd find, like, the right one of those, and we get a couple of them, or maybe that is the right one, and then, like, each one's got, like, the little labeled section. We got everyone with good handwriting.
So you only have to really carry one. It's just like a Puffco pull-out.
Yeah, well, it doesn't even necessarily be about, it could be an electronics pull-out, and then you pull it out, and then there's just a little Puffco Peak accessories, Puffco proxy accessories, and then down here you have, like, the dab charged hot knife things. The dub charge hot knife things.
I feel like the other problem with
different
a lot of that
in the knives.
I feel like one of the other problems with the like it being dead stock is a matter of like whether or not the people who work for us push it. Like how many people here who work for us have used avidly a Puffco and can actually recommend it to someone. Same thing with like the herb vaporizers. Is like someone was asking me about them and I could go down the list of most of them and explain like what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it. Most people who work for us can't, which isn't bad, but it's like bad for the stock. Like that's what kind of makes it dead stock is that like someone comes up and they're like, can I get an herb vaporizer? Or like, tell me about your herb vaporizers. And they're like, well, this is the packs.
Like it sucks because we have these dub charge ones that
they're
are actually
dope.
pretty dope.
They're like $60 and they're the coolest herb vaporizer I've ever used. I liked it way more than the packs.
Yeah, it's definitely the cheapest option like you can get.
I get what you guys are saying. So it's like it's hard to sell a proxy fucking Gandalf attachment if nobody's really into proxy. It becomes hella easy if people are into proxy.
Well, because the person comes up, they maybe see someone with a proxy, and even if they don't, like the person could just be like, the person's getting wax, and you're like, oh, have you tried the Puffco proxy?
You have to get the Gandalf.
Like,
you get the Puffco.
like
or someone getting a terp pin, and you're like, have you tried the Puffco proxy? That person isn't going to switch from a $30 item to a $200 item.
Or at least,
but a month later, they might.
They understand what like the top prize is at least.
Yeah,
like, they're looking at it and they see like, oh man, that's what this volcano is up on the top shelf. That's a dry herb vaporizer. What is it? That's what it is. A dry herb vaporizer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think it's cool. I think we should get one for in here.
I would almost. This is like off the top of my head, but I almost feel like with some of that stuff, like the proxy or not the proxy, any herb vaporizer or any concentrate type thing. Having the terp pen and the Dynavape where you have like the really cheap entry level version of it, and then when the person buys it, you can be like, if you really like that, you're gonna love the packs or you're gonna love the Puffco. Like having that entry level option that then switches to, I hate that.
So what kind of products, like we just talked about this whole little fucking section, you know what I mean? Like what kind of vaporizers we should have, where we should put fucking cigarillos. What else should we put on this back shelf? Like, what should we be expanding on?
If we have high-end hangers, like coat hangers?
No, like, I think like if we have a
You know,
spot.
Johnny wants more fucking chips back there.
No,
He's like, I just got this new thing.
Like the
of
little
import
one, like
chips.
the long ones though. Like as opposed to like we have like these short ones right over there holding the smoke buddies up. Maybe like the long one down there at the very bottom that holds a bunch of smoke buddies. We could have more stuff like that like we don't, you know.
Someone's gonna poke an eye out.
No, but like it would be like back there on the top shelf.
Oh, okay.
So like, and then you could have more stuff like that.
Oh, like it wouldn't be instead of the shelf, it would be coming off the shelf.
Either or.
Okay.
Like, so like you could have the stuff on the shelf and there's a little bit of space above the stuff on the shelf. You could put one of these up and then you could put some stuff all the way out on it. And that backstocks the whole thing. You have everything that you need right there. You don't have to have another section for it. Pretty nifty.
It'd be
But like
pretty
I'm
cool.
also saying above the fridge we're gonna put shelves. So you gotta think about that. Like how we've done at the other spots, like we gotta do that shelves right there.
Like-
Instead of the trays.
Because there's so many easier spots to put trays now that we understand magnets.
What would you add on, Keller? Like on that back
Ooh.
shelf, like what, like out of the stuff that we carry, like what would, like what's the addition? Like what are we lacking on?
Definitely not trays. For which spot?
West Campus.
West Campus.
Like on the West Campus redo.
For which wall?
The back one, the whole back wall.
All of it. Oh gosh. What are we lacking on?
I've been thinking we need a fucking cleanser, like detox.
Detox.
No.
Yes. I agree.
Or like we have no detox and we could have 4 detox.
We need peace water. That was one thing we had to have.
So that's
Peace
more
water's
cleaners,
pretty cool.
like more like
Well,
bong cleaners. Like I've been
yeah.
saying 420 for a long time.
Yeah, the
Well,
bong water shit.
Yeah,
More different ISOs, Q-tips better situation on like the ISO Q-tips.
I was thinking you commented on we understand magnets now. What if we did the rolling trays all along?
What do you mean
the-
understand magnets?
He said
Dude.
we understand magnets now. Like
Well,
that's a quote from him.
Yeah, well,
But like it would be so
What do you
cool.
think? Can
Like
you
you
comment
walk up
on
and
this?
someone's like, "Can
I
I get a
changed
rolling
up, like,
tray?"
you
What do you get
how
now?
many trays we put in 6th Street that we, so we got rid of the tray wall and we
Oh.
tripled up on the trays that are in 6th Street and you can't even tell.
Yeah.
Oh, because y'all did them along the shelf.
Well, they're all on the shelf and then I put some on the roof.
Yeah.
Like so like right above you.
Which is
So
what I'm
what's up
saying.
with
It
the
would be
one
so
about
cool
the
to do them
magnets?
above.
That's how they're held up, magnets. So you can just grab them down.
Like,
Like we
once you
understand,
learn.
we understand like how we can use them
Like
better.
I didn't know that there were these little tiny magnets you could just get that hold up trays. I've always been annoyed because Raw sells this magnet tray holder that's too expensive and too difficult to get your hands on.
But
I've
we
never
love Raw.
really I love Raw to death, but like I don't understand like why it's so difficult to get your hands on this cool magnet tray holder. So like then I came to the conclusion Amazon little baby magnets, and they hold trays up so well.
All right.
They
That
do.
sounds
they're,
good.
They're really, really cool for
Yeah.
how we display our trays. Like it's such a big upgrade to just having them up against the back
Amazon
wall.
magnets.
Yeah,
Amazon magnets.
I bet are they the Amazon? What do they call it? Amazon Basics.
Really?
It's the way to go.
Probably.
Probably. I don't really order them.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
The
All
other order
right.
on the first time, I always just tell them, you get more of the magnets. I never actually looked up to see if we could get better ones.
Well, look. Now, a word from our sponsors. So I gotta tell you guys, I love Austin Wholesale Supply. They keep us fucking full on everything. All the vapes, all the THCA, all the fucking trays, all the raw, all everything, all papers, everything you could want. Austin Wholesale Supply. The #1 smoke shop supply warehouse. I'm guessing in the USA, but I'll guarantee you Texas. All right, now back to our show.
Okay, so we're back. We're going to be talking about lighters that look a lot like this one. But we're going to change it up. We've been talking about a variety of different colors, and Johnny's going to start us off with what color he thinks is the best option.
Stupid.
Whoa. I don't think it's the best option. It was just pointed out to me that we should get a pink one. And I agree. I think a pink one would be cool.
really
Why?
Like, first off, you imagine how cool... You know, these black ones look cool in the case, but a whole case of pink lighters...
The big pink ones
That's
are really
sick.
vibrant.
Yeah. I was wanting to do a classic one. Tana, or some person,
In the background.
just pointed out to me that we should do a green one, and I was thinking green with gold writing. But like, I don't know. Maybe just like a classic, just normal classic brown, like with black writing, or like.
Somebody told me the other day that they thought we should do clippers.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Oh,
we're
clippers would be
definitely
way
getting
cooler
some
than
clippers.
Thank
We're
you.
definitely getting some
Clippers are
clippers.
way better.
Thank you. Yes.
Well, and they're more environmentally friendly. Like these, you use it up, you gotta throw it away. A clipper, you can refill
Well, yeah, but
until
these
you
are
lose it.
easier for us to give away. Clippers are gonna be a little bit more expensive.
Have you ever refilled a clipper?
Yes,
I have.
I
refilled many
had a
clippers.
collection of them for a while. Then
I have
lost
a
all
little
of them.
thing on my wall, like full of clippers.
This doesn't
Okay.
work very well.
So what other products do you think we should have? Like what should we make? Like the Glassmith, classic.
Rolling trays, pint glasses.
What if we did the Glassmith Gals one? Like a Glassmith Gals one?
Yeah, we
Like
Glassmith
either it
flowers,
says the
ladders.
Glassmith Gals or it just says Gals and we like pick a like logo for the Glassmith Gals that we put on it.
The problem with Glassmith gals is they try to keep it real too much.
What do you mean?
Like,
What does that
follow
Like-
up on that.
like they have a hard time selling out. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
You
like,
want a
yeah.
lighter?
like everything they do has got to be like
Legit.
Yeah, I'm all like,
Thank
let's
you.
push product. You know what I mean? Isn't
I
that what the
follow.
kids say now? Pushing P.
Well, like, so like I see that we put out like a bunch of different lighters. Like, what if like why aren't we putting out just a bunch of different kinds of our lighters? You know, like we could have a whole tray and then each little row is just a different one of our lighters,
Is
and then we
it?
put that out on the counter.
Do we lose out on these? Like if we get a bunch of pink ones and a bunch of like gold and blue or gold and green, like is that just like an item that we're gonna be losing out on?
I mean, everything is a win. Depends
Do
on
you-
All we do is
like,
win,
so like
win,
listen,
win,
as
win.
long as if you're selling them, we're making money on them. It's like we buy
Okay.
them for about $1.02. Like whenever we're getting them like that, it's gonna probably be like $1.12.
But like either way.
We sell them for $2. We give away a lot.
Do you think we could sell some lighters, some Bic lighters, for $3?
I would just
Like
feel
what
a
if like we
dick.
just put the Texas ones at $3?
You know,
Or like like the ones with the cowboys on it and shit.
you know those ones the
But like so
the
okay,
little,
let me ask you
like
this.
shitty lighters.
So
that are
right
on
now-
6th Street.
Right now we're running shitty lighters, little lighters.
Why are those shitty
Clippers.
lighters $2?
Yeah, we
Well-
only carry $2 lighters.
What if it was more like the little lighters are $2, the big lighters are $2, but the rainbow ones, like the ones that got swirly colors and shit, like all the different colors, those are $3.
Yeah, but that shitty lighter should be 50 cents.
It's still a Bic. What I'm saying is that you got little Bic, big Bic. Both those are $2.
Okay, but that's I'm not talking
instead,
about
so
the
like
Bics.
we've been successful selling Bic lighters, right?
Yes.
And clippers.
We
Not
can-
to take. I'm not trying to take away from clippers. But if we carried, instead of carrying 3 lighter bins, we carried 14 lighter bins, and each of those lighter bins carried different price lighters that all cost us the same amount of money. You see what I'm saying? So like we could basically get the Dallas Cowboys lighters in and say these are $3.
And just people that like Dallas Cowboys gonna
They
buy
just
these
buy
lighters.
them, right? We got fucking lighters
What if we
everywhere,
did
so
a
there's
kid-
just fucking so many
I
lighters.
don't think
Ones?
we have enough space
What?
for
Like
this.
$3. They're just so.
But don't you think the space the lighters are taking up right now is fucking loose?
So this
That's
is-
the reason
this
they're
is
there.
my thought
The
is-
reason they're there is because we didn't have shit to put right there.
Yeah, but right now we have people that like have to get a lighter. Everybody has to get a lighter, especially now that we've put them in front of them. They have to get a lighter.
So,
They really
but
care
couldn't
what
we
type of lighter
get
it
couldn't
is.
we get more money by having more lighters? Like, and
That's what I'm trying to say. But like, I'm not saying like
Keller-
we should have different bin for
It's-
each one,
it's
different
Keller,
rows for each
It's
do
lighter.
you
almost a
think
collect-
clippers should be $3?
Maybe. Just be. No.
Tana's going down.
I don't know. It's a good argument. You know, like they are reusable, refillable, all that fun stuff. You know,
Better than a Bic.
Absolutely, 100%. So yeah, I agree, and they come with all the funky ones. You know, even I think the ones that have the sleeve on them, maybe even hear me out. Those should be $5. I don't know. You know, you can charge more for them because it's a little bit better, and it's like an investment. You know what I mean?
So the more lighters we have, the more lighters we sell. What's the cap?
14 is a lot.
Like 14 containers
Like,
of
no.
50?
Well, yeah, like I think
That's
that
a
if
lot.
you
It could be
wanna
too
have a
high.
lot, well, you could run 14 and you would still be winning, but it would have to be individual rows. Like it would have to be 14 different clippers with different designs on them, so that every time you come in, like that was where zebra heads would get me. I'd walk in and they'd have a different set of clippers out. Like almost every time. And so
Each
every time I
little
walk
row
in, I'm
should
like,
be a
you
different
guys have a
pepper.
Foo Fighters one? I want that. You guys have like a one
That's
with a
how
wizard
they
on
do
it.
it.
Like you just run 14 different rows, which is really just like one shelf.
I just bought a bunch of clippers today. Like I bought like 3 different packs of clippers.
And you just make it a collectible
They're
thing.
pretty
It's
cool.
the same thing with the
Like,
Glassmith ones.
it was
But,
buy a
I'm
pack, get
saying
5 free.
each clipper pack has 5 different rows that have 10 of the same lighter in each row. So that means that you should have 3 things of clippers because that would be 15 unique clipper styles. You know what I mean? What I'm arguing for is 20.
Oh, half and half?
Well, you have 20 unique clippers.
I
So
think-
you can get one with little hearts on it or one with lightning bolts
Yeah, I'm saying
I
each
think
row,
you-
each
I think
each
you could
individual
treat-
row is a different.
with little flags on it of certain nationalities.
I think that you could do. Yeah, I think you could get away with 20. You just have to consider if that's taking up so much space that you're getting rid of a product you want to carry.
So
Because so what do we pay for a clipper?
$1.50.
And we sell them for 2 or 3. I think we sell them for 2. And I think we continue to because other places sell them for 3. Like we're.
I hate fucking charging.
but we could just
$3 for
outlighter them.
I
Well, no,
like
and
that.
then you could.
You see
You
what
could
I'm
have-
saying? Like
you
we
could
have that. We could have the cheapest bic in town. Like we could sell the basic generic ones for $1.50, like just blue, just white, just yellow. You know what I mean? But then we could have the ones with the designs on for $2, which is the same price as everybody else.
Right.
But then we could have the ones that not everybody sees every day, and we could run them for $3, $4, $5.
But
Like,
like,
imagine
$5,
selling a
3 for
five.
10.
Like, well, that's just in numbers, right? Because if you stock enough, people are gonna pick the high road. They're gonna be like, dude, I never seen that big before.
Yeah.
So how? But we're okay with ordering like 5 different kinds of lighters of our own establishment.
Well, let's get back to it. That's a good point, Johnny.
Well, so yeah, I think that I would like to know in one of the shelves that we keep the like not Mind's Eye, the like Hidden Hills in, like how much space is that? Because I think you at one of those rows worth of lighters, like a whole like it's like maybe a foot and a half.
If you don't think lighters are best served like where we have them right now,
Yeah, like
it would
for the
be-
customer
it
to
would-
go.
it would be-
That way they can potentially
Cash
steal them.
No, it would be there. It would be that amount of distance, like that amount of distance. So it's like
I love them.
I imagine it's like 15. 15 lighters ish is probably the point, but they all have to be unique and cool. Like you can't just have like 3 different shades of pink. You have to have like ones with cool designs on them, ones that say like Glassmith that are all different, Glassmith gals. That way it's like a collectible thing.
Yeah, as long as
And then
they
hopefully
Color.
you don't carry so many of those.
Do
You
you
gotta
think
those
that
out.
Kurt could pick out cool designs?
No. I don't think Kurt can pick out cool designs.
I think I picked out some really cool lighters.
Johnny
today.
could. Johnny has the mind of the average person when it comes to products.
Okay.
I think that is something that should be left up to someone. Like,
Cooler.
I don't know about cooler, but
With a better decision making.
perhaps.
Thank you.
Can I see that lighter?
Well, somebody with
This
taste
one?
and style. Anyways, like so, if I was gonna
You
pick
got
like,
taste and style.
if I was
think
gonna
so.
pick,
You guys
any-
don't
Pretty
seem to.
snazzy today.
What do you
Thank you.
mean? I told you earlier I liked your outfit.
We were
That's true,
matching
thank
shirts
you.
because
So
like, I
I
thought it was
think-
such a good shirt today.
All right,
It's
so
such a good purple.
so
I know, I
out
know.
of
If you guys
Glassmith,
don't have a Glassmith t-shirt,
Glassmith t-shirts.
They're-
are the
they're comfort
actual-
color. They're
why
badass.
is this
They're
t-shirt
$20.
purpled out? You
This
know
is
what I
the
mean?
color.
Yeah,
of
wait,
the shirt.
what?
Oh, I do that. I bet it's yours do it too.
Let's do that.
Not like that
This is
though.
purple. What do you mean?
Mine are all white. Like this one's
No, that one's blue. That one is literally a light blue.
That is blue.
Dude, Billy.
My blue's like
Where
that.
did we get our t-shirts from?
HL Advertising.
If you guys don't shop
Comfort,
with,
comfort colors. Yeah.
But
You
yeah,
need to
our
stop
shirts are
watching-
badass.
You watch your first load on hot. You need to.
I do
don't
everything
watch
cold.
everything cold.
my
My
mom
I
got
don't
mad at
ever
me
go
for too
above
many
cold.
shrunken pairs of sweatpants.
I've
Everything's
shrunk
shrunk.
all my clothes one time and just was so upset.
Even these ones, like they don't go all the way down to my ankles. They all, like
Because you shrunk them down.
I shrunk them on accident. Now I wash everything on cold.
These are the
I
same
dry
ones?
on
These
cold,
are just
too.
the other color? Or no?
Yeah. No.
They got the
John,
same.
they might be. I don't know.
They got
Johnny and I share sweatpants.
We don't share sweatpants. We have similar, the exact same sweatpants. Like, not the exact same, 2 separate sweatpants. The same.
That we don't both wear. They're different.
So if basically right now lighters are the excess, right? We're trying to fill up the space because we're talking about lighters. What else should we be carrying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what would you rather put there instead of lighters?
This would be a cool idea on the back on one of these like back shelves, like the bigger torches. You know what I'm saying? Like the nicer torches. Like I got like these spray can torches. Like I wanted to put them out because I feel like people are just like gonna buy them right away. I don't know. I guess like that's the thought. But like there wasn't many of them. I was only able to get one box of them, and I was pretty hype about them.
And so instead of selling them, he just like
Backstock.
stockpile.
Backstock. That's a good idea.
Well, y'all know like that's like see Tana. Oh, somebody wants one. I want one. Like what? They're cool.
So why sell it when we could just give them away for free to our
on the
staff?
other hand, it's like I understand that idea. So you think torches is a ticket?
Like it's like a shelfable item, like a nicer thing to be behind the shelf. It's kind of like something like I think we should do over at 6th Street. Like one of those little shelves on the left could be like torches, like the nicer torches, the bigger torches. The what are they called? Like that I got.
I know what you're talking about.
Blazer?
Yeah, the Blazer.
Huge fan. Blazer.
Definitely
the GT 8000.
One of the better torches on the
Yeah,
market. It
cool
lasts so much
stand.
longer than most torches do. And this is a really cool stand at that.
Made by.
Something
Some
I think
dude,
maybe we could use a little bit more of
Cons.
at West Campus. You asked me that earlier. I think right now we have those, like the big like black edition, which I think is like super expensive. And
Yeah.
the little
Yeah,
itty
they're like
bitty
$80.
tiny ones.
No middle.
Absolutely not.
More torches.
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 Well, we have like the Elif ones that are at least some of the shops.
Oh, I have so many leaf torches here at this house.
We should bring some of those to West Campus.
I'm in on torches.
What's a product you guys would like us to carry? Oh, I was thinking about it. So
Oh,
like
that'd be
people
interesting.
do like the joint tips, but what if instead of making them, we found a supplier? Like what if we just bought dollar joint tips? Like
I think we could get those.
They have the raw plantable tips at AWS.
What's
Austin
that?
Wholesale Supply.
Austin Wholesale Supply.
I thought I
Located here in
grabbed
Austin.
them, and I don't know if they just didn't like they weren't in the system.
They got 12mm and 6 and 9, like both sizes, 2 sizes, like one for inside the joint, one for outside.
White Rhino has inside. I don't know about outside.
Like wait, what are y'all talking about?
So like
Glass?
right now we got this joint, no tip. We can fucking stuff the tip on
Yeah.
it.
Well, do they have one raw?
Well, they have both in
They have
and
a
out.
glass one.
We want glass.
Yeah, glass.
Yeah, that'd be
Like the idea would be that right now I'm not making almost any joint tips, very few, but we could get one that's even cheaper to carry.
Yes, they do.
That'd be cool.
Austin Wholesale Supply is probably about to get up on all of these raw things.
Cool. So you're gonna get us some joint tips?
Yeah.
Cool. Over.
Reaching out to HBI International is like impossible.
Are you gonna hit up Frito-Lay?
Or go to Costco Business Center.
Y'all are really gonna go in the morning?
I'm not. I have
He
to study
won't go,
tomorrow.
so we're going
Oh.
Monday.
We might go
Tuesday.
Monday. Can Krista come Monday if I come?
I guess so.
Okay. Yeah, I can probably go.
Whoa.
He's way more behaved.
Chris, just chill.
I'm
Really
thinking
chill.
no, because like we need a back seat for storage of more things.
We've shared a seat in your car before.
Not for 3
The
hours.
3 of y'all could sit up in the front.
Not for 3 hours.
Not for 3 hours.
My head was like scrunched, like
And that would be
Oh,
like
fuck
bad. Not driving.
really
around like that.
unsafe.
Yeah.
Where is it? South Dallas?
I don't remember. I've gone there before though. It's cool. Like I got a bunch of big ass pans, a bunch of big ass bowls, and a bunch of chips.
It seems weird. Like, is that where you get the 99-cent ones? Like the ones that have the prices on them?
The chips?
Right, so it's like we want the chips that already have the prices on them. Is that where you get them?
I don't know. Like I haven't been there in a while. I could maybe look it up. I haven't really looked it up. But I do know that that's like where you get all the chips from.
You have so much ash on yourself now. You've ashed on yourself like
Yeah, but
two or
like
three
there's already
Oh,
so
it just
much
kinda
other
roll-
stuff.
yeah.
Like, I don't know how. It's like a ring.
yeah. It's like someone set their cup on you.
Shit happens.
Shit does happen. As Forrest Gump
I
says.
was matching shirts with Kurt earlier, so then I changed.
Into a dirty shirt.
You guys still look like it's like Kurt looks like his shirt just hasn't quite faded enough yet. You look like you faded your shirt over time, but you seem how kept the logo bright. You know? Kurt looks like he don't know
This
how
is
to
pretty
care.
cool.
Kurt looks like he don't know how to care for his laundry.
I think maybe someone colored it in with the purple marker.
Dude, I don't know what's going on with your logo, but like
I'm
none
curious.
of
I
mine
have
like
3
that.
of these, so I'm gonna check the
I'm
other
gonna look
2.
at my other
right
purple
now.
later.
Maybe your washing machine just says cold, but it's really hot.
No, because my clothes
Ooh,
stopped
what if
shrinking.
they're switched up?
I don't think that's
Maybe they stopped shrinking because they already shrunk.
Maybe they shrunk them
Whenever I
so
moved
much.
into my previous apartment, I never knew if I did it right. It's like I'm really glad it was already done here.
Oh, if you hooked it up.
Yeah.
So Kurt, you were talking about we should run some type of giveaway this week.
Oh, we should. I
Like
don't know
in
what-
conjunction, it's in conjunction with this podcast.
With this podcast. Well, it depends. When does this podcast come out, Mr. Producer?
2 weeks.
So the 22nd?
Sure.
This comes out on Fridays?
This will be up Friday.
No, well, like, so not this Friday,
But
not
they
the
don't know
following
what
Friday.
we're
So
talking
we
about.
can't run a
Following
giveaway
Friday.
for this one.
So it would be Friday the
I'm
14th.
sorry, guys. I
right?
can't give you
Friday
anything
the
for free
15th.
today. Why not? We
Friday
can give
the
us something
15th.
free anytime.
I think that we're going to be running one, and Austin's going to superimpose over us, over this whole conversation. Or maybe right
Don't
there.
we run
or
a
maybe
week?
right there.
Don't we run
maybe
a
right
week?
there.
Yeah, give you one of our
Like,
cool
aren't we
spray
trying to
paint.
run
Well,
Yeah,
so we
George
run
Lewis.
one every week on our Instagram, hopefully.
Who are we running on with this week?
This week we ran one on Monday that goes until the 11th, which is going to be before this
Yeah,
one's
yeah.
over.
So who do you think we did? do
Oh,
one
well, it
with?
was Vibrant Knots. This coming Friday for this podcast, it's going to be with Smoke Toki, which is a local brand that
At
makes...
Smoke Toki. Toki's just the
At
brand,
Smoke
right?
Toki, the brand is Toki. It's a
Hard
roll
to
down
get the
stem.
hard to
huge
get the
fan.
Instagram you want to get. you
Very
know?
tough. We're blessed to have the Instagram we want. But Smoke Toki. Toki is a metal down stem that you can jab into almost anything in order to make a bong out of it. It's made by 2 UT students, and on December, I think 1st, an episode came out with Billy and Toki that's all about their product, and it's really, really cool. Y'all should check it out.
So what? We're gonna give them like a bottle of Fiji bottled water from Billy's Bodega.
No,
and,
so the giveaway is gonna be
a Toki device.
a Toki device, a bowl made by me or Billy. Fingers crossed, Billy. He makes a badass
He makes
bowl.
a bad.
But he also doesn't blow glass anymore, so we'll see what happens.
Has
there.
to be a champagne bowl
Has to be a champagne bowl.
because otherwise it gets too dirty and like that's.
Maybe
not
I'll
the
talk to
style.
That's
Amora
not
Boro.
true. That's
We'll
not
see if
how
he
it
can make a
works.
sauce.
That's just
for
not
it.
the style, dog.
That's not how it works.
You've seen the style of their thing.
It just
It's like
doesn't work
champagne
that-
bowl.
It doesn't work that way.
Heady ass champagne bowl.
All right, and you anticipate like when this podcast come out, you think that's what you just said is that when this one drops, what we'll be giving away with in conjunction with this is the Toki.
If this comes out,
Well, when did
on,
the Toki guys like? When did you run that? When did that podcast come out?
that podcast came out like a couple days ago.
Can we give
So
them a
why aren't we
Taco Bell
running
taco?
Toki? Why
Well,
aren't we running
because
Toki giveaway right
it
now
came
with
out-
that podcast?
Well, so we had already planned a giveaway for the day it was coming out. I didn't know the day it was releasing, and so I planned one for that. When I found out, I was like, okay, I'd already communicated with the person, and so we're running that one on Friday. We're doing it Friday. So so this month we're running a giveaway with them on the Friday that's about to happen, which is the 8th. And then we're gonna run one with them on the 15th. And
oh
we're
shit,
also
we're
gonna run
running
one
it back.
on the 22nd.
So it's like a whole month of Toki.
Between
we're
all
giving
3 of our
away
different accounts,
a
it's gonna be the
Taco Bell
Glassmith, the
taco.
Glassmith Gals, and the
Oh.
Glassmith Billy. Maybe Glassmithing, but I didn't find I was gonna do the Friday after Christmas.
You know where the
but
concept comes from is like
Billy, I got it from him.
Watching ESPN is they do this shit called the car wash, which is like you bring a pro athlete to the ESPN studios and then they run them through all the shows. You know what I mean?
oh,
So you
that's
just
cool.
run you run the athlete through all the different giveaways. In this case, the athlete is the
the
talented artist on the other side. You know what I mean?
brand.
The creator, yeah, the creator of a product, the product creator. I don't know.
Or influencer, or
Yeah, somebody's got some
XYZ.
shit going.
yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. So, anyway, what else you guys got? What else you guys want to talk about? Anything else we need to bring up before we get out of here for the week?
What about papers? Like, do we think we talked about Rillos, but like, are papers really a thing that you need a lot of? Like, we have Raw, we have OCB, we have Zigzag, we have Elements, we have Trippies, we have Juicy J. And I'm
In my
sure we have a
opinion,
couple others.
Though, like, we don't have any of those in reality. Like, we sometimes have them, and then at that, we don't have all the different kinds of them, like, ever at the same time.
No, yeah, we cycled through a whole bunch of different stuff.
So, like, I think really what it's currently been is, like, we haven't had space. So, like, me personally, like, I always, like, there's a new one. Like, there's space for, one's gone, and there's space that they need 1 1/4. Like, we can grab zigzag 1 1/4 this time.
Oh,
And then you can
through.
bring them in, and then as they're almost gone, they're like, we need some more 1 1/4. You can get some elements 1 1/4 up in there.
So then, do you think that you could just fully drop the like if you only wanted to carry raw, and you just had raw 1 1/4 organic, raw 1 1/4 regular, and then him, and then you do the same thing with king, and then you have your 2 different types of tips.
Yeah, but
Like you think
can
you
do
sell
that.
the same number of papers?
No. I think we actually sell a lot of papers because we cycle through so many papers.
Oh, like
Maybe-
people come up and they buy.
Yeah,
something.
but like I think we'd sell way more papers than we had every paper.
So then,
like-
would we want to consider, like, going back to the shelving conversation? Would we want to consider having a section that's like really dedicated to a
I
lot of
would
papers?
think that papers would be a trays or a files type of situation. Sadly, a file,
Oh,
a
that would be
menu,
really. It would be
like
so
an
cool to
outside
have
menu
someone.
with like with one paper of every single pack. That's like behind a piece of plexiglass or something, or like or like maybe printed out on a piece of corrugated
It would
plastic
be really
from
cool to
Compu
have a
Signs.
piece of plastic,
Shout
almost
out
like,
my
a clip,
guy Al.
almost like a clipboard, and it has one of every paper on it. So someone's like, "What papers do y'all have?" And you just hand them this board, and then they get to see every single, like, the pack of every single one.
So you just roll different brands, right? Like, so you go zigzag, and then underneath zigzag is 1 1/4, fucking like king size.
Oh, that'd be
Ham,
cool.
rice, all the different fucking
Like
varieties.
you fold open the zigzag one, and
But it'd
written
just
in
be,
there.
we would have a menu out front, and then like if somebody's like, "Where do you have papers?" and we'd hand them a binder. I don't know. All that shit sounds crazy, right?
I
Like,
don't know about a binder. Oh, like a binder
would be
menu.
cool.
well, like
And
I'm
then
saying,
we have the back stock
basically,
of them.
that's what we're talking about here. Is that having so much stuff in every space that people need to see a menu to look at it, which is like one of our current problems. That's why I'm like, when I think about it, I'm like, how much do we want to go in this? Like where you say a drawer, that drawer has to be just as organized as a shelf that's outside. And like where Kurt's saying, it's like you could build a, like in a space that's this tall, we could build like a tiered kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
It holds like a bazillion.
You pull out a
fucking
little
papers.
drawer, and then it's like all these different papers in there. So like you have the raws up front, the like whichever type it is. Like you have the raw 1 1/4 original hemp, and then right behind it you have the raw king size original hemp.
Yeah,
so, like,
but
if they're,
imagine how
like,
messy that gets, like, so quick. Like we already, like Billy said about the shelf. Like the nice thing about that is you can see when it gets really messy. That takes a whole extra level of like looking for it, and then even on top of that, we already can't keep our shelves clean.
A certain level of managerial talent.
Mhm.
That Johnny just lacks, to be honest.
Johnny.
I've been busy.
This guy. Okay, I don't think we have anything else for you guys today, unless Johnny, Keller, or Billy has something to add.
Nah.
So we're gonna call this one quits. You guys have a great day. Check out our giveaways and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And point
Instagram,
Instagram, TikTok.
Like, subscribe.
Instagram,
If you
follow.
follow us on YouTube at one of our locations in front of us, like you show us, you follow us, we'll give you a free gummy.
Free gummy.
Sweet Cincy.